People care so much more about your personal life than they do your work. And if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you. Deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yes.
As someone who is so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people.
But I was like just tracking him down, and then I finally got to read the script, and the script was a thriller. So that was a little confusing to me because he's like such a funny director.
Welcome back to Popstream. And buckle up, because Blake Lively just took a major hit that has everyone talking. Reports are swirling that Target has quietly pulled her Betty Buzz mixers from store shelves, and the reason? Let's just say it's not exactly a flattering look. Sources close to the situation claim this move ties back to a lawsuit alleging that Lively and her team misrepresented key details about the brand. The legal drama has been brewing in the background for months, but now it's hitting Lively where it hurts most: retail distribution. And let's be real, when a retail powerhouse like Target decides to distance itself from a product, it's more than a hiccup. It's a full-blown crisis. According to early reports, the lawsuit focuses on accusations of misleading marketing and questionable business practices linked to Betty Buzz. Legal experts suggest that if these claims gain traction in court, they could significantly damage both the brand and Lively's carefully crafted business persona. While Lively hasn't issued a direct statement, insiders say she's scrambling behind the scenes to contain the fallout. Meanwhile, evidence points to Target strategically pulling the product from shelves to shield themselves from being caught in the storm. That decision is a devastating blow. Target wasn't just a retail partner, it was a marquee distributor, giving Betty Buzz the kind of mainstream visibility that smaller beverage startups can only dream of. Without that platform, Betty Buzz instantly loses a huge slice of its credibility and reach. And credibility, more than sales, is the lifeblood of celebrity-backed brands. Public reaction is as divided as you'd expect. Some fans defend Lively, arguing this is another example of celebrities being unfairly targeted, pun intended. Others aren't so forgiving. Social media is flooded with memes, critiques, and speculation, and the consensus isn't leaning in her favor. The real question now: can Betty Buzz bounce back? Because losing Target isn't just a sales problem, it's an image problem. If other retailers follow suit, the damage could multiply overnight. To make matters worse, this isn't happening in isolation. Reports suggest Justin Baldoni, who was once in talks with Lively about a potential collaboration, is wrapped up in his own legal dispute. While the cases are separate, the overlapping headlines are creating a perfect storm of bad press. Legal analysts point out that the connection, even if indirect, could further tarnish Betty Buzz by association. PR-wise, it's a nightmare. Industry insiders are already calling this a make-or-break moment. Once public perception shifts, it's notoriously difficult to recover. For Lively, her next move will be critical. Some experts believe she'll need to issue a bold, transparent public statement to regain trust, perhaps even pair it with a rebrand. Owning the controversy, showing accountability, and pivoting could give Betty Buzz a fighting chance. But others are far less optimistic. They argue that the damage is already done. Once a brand becomes synonymous with controversy, consumers often move on quickly, especially in an oversaturated market filled with trendy alternatives. Even if Lively clears her name legally, regaining the brand's footing may prove to be an uphill battle. The drama is only heightened by the size and loyalty of both fan bases. Lively's supporters, who admire her fashion sense, acting career, and entrepreneurial drive, struggle to believe she would ever intentionally mislead consumers. Baldoni's fans, however, view him as an earnest, socially conscious figure, making them more inclined to believe his claims of manipulation and dirty tricks. Each new filing, rumor, or leak is immediately dissected across social platforms, fueling a narrative war between Team Lively and Team Baldoni. And then there's Disney, looming large in the background. In an unexpected twist, the entertainment giant has reportedly thrown its weight behind Baldoni, lending him legal and institutional support. That's not just about It Ends With Us, the film he directed. It signals broader confidence in his perspective and approach. Some speculate Disney's involvement points to future collaborations, suggesting they're invested in protecting his reputation long-term. By providing legal muscle, Disney ensures Baldoni can withstand the negative press swirling around him. And if his claims about tampered documents hold water, Disney's backing guarantees those materials will be scrutinized by some of the top forensic experts in the field. The implications are staggering. For Lively, losing Target and facing a credibility crisis while her rival gains Disney's backing creates a daunting uphill climb. For Baldoni, this could cement his image as a fighter for fairness in Hollywood, but only if he produces hard evidence. For Betty Buzz, the stakes are existential. One wrong step, and it risks becoming yet another celebrity brand that fizzled under controversy. What happens next will depend on how both camps play their cards. Will Lively pivot with transparency and salvage her brand, or will Betty Buzz fade into the crowded graveyard of failed celebrity ventures? Will Baldoni's evidence truly expose misconduct, or will the saga collapse under its own drama? One thing's for certain, this is no longer just a spat between stars. It's a high-stakes showdown with ripple effects across Hollywood, retail, and public trust, and the fireworks are only just beginning.
Frank, if it were not for women giving me direct feedback in my own personal life and being a man.
I was one of two people, maybe. And then I get a call from my managers and my agent. They were both on the line, which means it's something serious. Right. Either you got the job or there's something.
Blake Lively's legal team isn't backing down. Far from it. They've made it clear that no matter how powerful Baldoni's corporate ally Disney might be, the court's focus will remain squarely on the facts. For them, the case hinges on authenticity. If Lively can prove her documents are genuine and that her account of the production process holds up under scrutiny, even Disney's top lawyers won't be enough to protect Baldoni. Legal experts say the battle comes down to one critical question: which records are real? If Lively's evidence is authentic, the allegations of manipulation could ricochet back at Baldoni, putting him on the defensive. But if Baldoni's original files stand the test, the narrative shifts entirely, and Lively may be the one facing an irreparable credibility crisis. Just as the story seemed tangled enough, a new voice entered the conversation: Baldoni's wife. Up until now, she had remained silent, but her recent comments could prove pivotal. She shared her own recollections of the early production process, painting a very different picture of Lively's involvement. According to her, Lively wasn't hesitant or pressured at all. In fact, she claims Lively was enthusiastic about the comedic scenes and bold designer costumes, eager to push creative boundaries. The implication is clear. Lively only changed her tune after fans began stirring controversy online. That perspective could be a game changer. By introducing personal, first-hand insights, Baldoni's wife may tilt the narrative in his favor, suggesting Lively's objections weren't about artistic integrity, but rather about managing public perception. Meanwhile, the possibility of a private settlement looms large. Disney's legal team, known for resolving disputes quickly and quietly, could push Baldoni toward an agreement that favors him while keeping explosive details sealed from public view. But Lively may not be willing to settle. For her, this fight might be bigger than business. It could be about protecting her reputation and legacy. If she truly believes her evidence will withstand digital forensics, she may see public vindication as worth far more than a discreet payout. If the case does proceed to trial, the intensity will skyrocket. Digital forensics experts would likely be brought in to pore over emails, text logs, and communications, looking for discrepancies in timestamps or document versions. Every detail, from casual on-set exchanges to private messages, could be scrutinized for signs of tampering or fabrication. The result would be a media circus, pulling back the curtain on Hollywood's hidden conflicts while threatening to scorch reputations on both sides. For Justin Baldoni, the stakes have never been higher. If he successfully proves that evidence against him was fabricated, he won't just clear his name. He could emerge stronger than ever, admired for standing his ground against what he frames as a calculated smear campaign. But if the court rules against him, the fallout could be just as devastating. Either way, the truth is barreling toward the surface, and once it hits, there will be no turning back.
That people and humanity are inherently good, and they crave nutritious food.
And he said, yes. So then every day on set, I was like, is today a comedy or is it a thriller?
It's a good mix
and
of both.
it's like really kind of over the top and campy and trashy and fun.
A victory in this case could transform Justin Baldoni's career, elevating him as not only a filmmaker but also as a trusted collaborator, opening doors to projects that align with his passion for authentic storytelling. Yet, the risks are just as enormous. If his claims of planted evidence collapse under scrutiny, his credibility could be shattered far beyond this single project. Hollywood insiders warned that such a failure would raise doubts about whether he deliberately fabricated accusations to divert attention from genuine criticism, an outcome that could haunt his professional reputation for years to come. For Blake Lively, the stakes are equally high. If she's directly tied to falsified evidence, the damage to her career could be catastrophic. Even with her stellar acting resume and long-standing public admiration, being exposed as someone who manipulated evidence against a colleague would cross a line many in the industry see as unforgivable. On the other hand, if she proves her documents are authentic and Baldoni's accusations amount to nothing more than a crafted narrative, the tables turn dramatically. She would reclaim her voice as the one unfairly silenced and emerge as a symbol of resilience, a star willing to stand firm against calculated attempts to undermine her. Hollywood has seen plenty of headline-making lawsuits, but this case feels different. The stakes aren't just about contracts or money. They're about creative control, image manipulation, and the integrity of a beloved source material. That combination makes the controversy especially explosive. Fans of It Ends With Us now watch with a strange mix of curiosity and disappointment, wondering whether the finished film will capture the emotional power of Colleen Hoover's novel or be forever overshadowed by legal warfare and backstage chaos. The novel's themes, growth, love, emotional honesty, were meant to inspire audiences. Instead, they now share the spotlight with courtroom questions about who manipulated what and why. The entertainment world is left hanging on the answers. Will Baldoni's planted evidence claims survive forensic analysis? Or will they crumble when timestamps, metadata, and deposition testimony reveal the truth? Each revelation carries the potential to reshape reputations overnight. In today's digital age, one verified piece of evidence or one credible witness can flip the narrative in an instant. That reality makes this legal showdown even more gripping. A single screenshot, a stray text, or a corroborated statement could become the turning point, either solidifying Baldoni's claims or dismantling them entirely. What's certain is that It Ends With Us has evolved far beyond its original scope as a heartfelt book-to-film adaptation. It has become a battleground for Hollywood's power dynamics, putting two A-list stars under the harshest spotlight of their careers. It raises broader questions about how the industry will handle creative disputes in an era where social media pressure and digital forensics can rewrite reputations overnight. Already, the allegations of planted evidence, true or not, have cast a long shadow over the project. What was supposed to be a tender story brought to life on screen has instead become a public spectacle, with legal battles threatening to drown out the artistry. As Lively and Baldoni brace for depositions, the entire production feels heavier, burdened by expectation and doubt. The clock is ticking, and fans are waiting. Will the film honor the spirit of Hoover's novel? Or will its legacy forever be entangled with scandal? For now, all Hollywood can do is hold its breath and watch as the final act of this real-life drama unfolds.